What is going on, traders? This is Jack with the Trading Tribe. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a really good video kind of showing a tip or a trick within the ThinkorSwim trading platform, and really excited to show you guys this as it's been a total game changer for my charting and has really helped with finding really pinpointed entries. So if you find value today, feel free to like and even subscribe to the channel. We have a ton of content coming for the rest of the year, so really excited for those next videos as well. But we'll jump right into it today, and we'll look at really the ThinkorSwim dashboard here, where I have multiple time frames, and on the left-hand side, right, I have a hourly chart, right, where we're looking at the past month of ES in this example. This tip really works regardless of the asset you're trading, but this is really going to be how to sync your different moving averages across these different time frames. So if we look at ES in this example, right, over here on the left, we have the long-term view of the asset, right, where we can see we're in a really nice uptrend. And I keep this hourly chart pretty clean, right? I typically just have two moving averages here just to show really the overall trend. And you'll notice really all year, ES has been really respecting this 200-day moving average. And then it's also been reacting a lot off of the 100-day moving average as well. So these moving averages are not only a good way to determine trend, but they're also a good thing to keep an eye on for price reactions. So you're not necessarily entering based on these moving averages, but it does show you, right, where can price potentially hold, right? In this case, on an uptrend, right, where are those buyers coming in? And these moving averages a lot of the time are where these algos are getting into the asset class. And you'll notice with ES especially, right, with both of these moving averages really all year long, right, we've had these really nice bounces off of them. Now, the issue with this is moving averages are based on the time frame. So in this case, right, I am on the hourly chart, and we'll notice this 100-day moving average, for example, is at 52.87. But, right, it's not at 52.87 on my 1-minute chart, right? Because my 1-minute chart over here on the right, this is really the day trading chart. This actually shows us a different moving average, right? So moving averages are factoring in the time frame, if that makes sense. So on the hourly chart, it's looking at the hourly data, right? On the 1-minute chart, it's looking at the 1-minute data. And so these moving averages essentially are not synced with each other. But there is an indicator that you can use in ThinkorSwim to actually sync the two. So if you wanted to see this 100-day moving average, for example, there is a way to actually put that on our 1-minute chart. And you'll notice, right, this swing trade that I'm in on ES, I'm actually up a couple thousand on this, or about 1,500 on this trade. But you'll notice, right, this price pulled back right to that 100-day moving average, and then it's actually held that pretty much perfectly to begin really the next leg up on the uptrend. And so if we wanted to have this 100-day moving average on this 1-minute chart, we can actually just come up to this indicators signal and come here and search for what we call the daily SMA. And this is an indicator in ThinkorSwim that's really nice. It allows you to essentially sync different moving averages from different time frames. And so the way that this would work is you double click this in ThinkorSwim. That'll essentially add it to your indicators being used. And then we'll go into the settings here, and we'll kind of walk through the settings. So as always, you can control kind of the style, if you will, of the indicator. So you can control the color, the shade, or if it's going to be like a straight line or a dotted line. We can leave the style as is because that's really up to the person. But up here at the top is really where you build it out. So we're looking at the hourly chart, and that's the moving average we want. So this aggregation period is essentially where we can match that. So we can go up to the 1 hour. And again, right, that's because this is the 1 hour chart. So if you wanted a moving average from the daily, right, you could move this to 1 day. Lots of flexibility here to pick and choose. So we're essentially matching the time frame here. And then we're also going to match the length. So in this case, I want that 100-day moving average that's right here to be added to my chart. So I can just change this number 9 to 100. And then we can leave the rest as is. So this is going to take the closing price, which is perfect. We don't want it displaced or moved, right? We want it to be exactly as is. And then we don't want it to show only certain periods. So we can leave this as no as well. In this case, right, that's really all you have to do. So by specifying the time frame here and then the moving average length, we can essentially just click OK and apply. And you'll notice, right, this adds that moving average to our 1 minute chart. And now if we look, right, we can see that this indicator is at 52.87, and now we have that at 52.87 now. And you'll notice, right, even on the 1 minute, we can see that it has essentially come down to that moving average, and through the overnight session has held it really nice. And then as we head into the New York Open, you can tell that we're still holding that moving average. So really nice way to really sync the two time frames and get moving averages on both. I've noticed that this really helps me with futures, especially because these moving averages are typically really nice areas where we can see some buying activity or aggressive selling activity, and having those two in sync makes it a lot easier because without this, right, you kind of have to eyeball it and either draw, on this 1 minute chart, or you have to just keep this other chart in mind. So really nice to kind of have both aligned here. If you have any questions, feel free to leave these down below, because I know this depends on the moving average and depends on the time frame, but wanted to share this with the group here. And thank you so much for the time today. Thanks, everybody.